Back on the record on call 642-197 and 645-710, State of Texas versus Alfredo Hernandez. Mr. Lamas, are you ready to proceed at this time?
We are, Your Honor.
Thank you. In cause 642-197 and 645-710, both of which are motions to revoke community supervision. The first document I'm looking at for each case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, that purports to be signed both by Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Lamas as Mr. Hernandez's attorney. In fact, Mr. Hernandez, is this your signature on both these documents, one in case 642-197 and one in case 645-710?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Lamas, as attorney for Mr. Hernandez, is this also your signature on both these documents, one in case 642-197 and one in case 645-710?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next documents I'm looking at are entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. There's one for each case, and they are both marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has the right to appeal the court's actions, revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. In fact, Mr. Hernandez, is this your signature on both these documents, one for case 642-197 and one for case 645-710?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Lamas, as attorney for Mr. Hernandez, is this your signature on both these documents, one for case 642-197 and one for case 645-710?
Yes, Your Honor.
In cause 642-197, this is a motion to revoke community supervision. My understanding is that this is an uncontested motion to revoke community supervision. Is that correct, Mr. Lamas?
It is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, in cause 642-197 on the motion to revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
That would be true with an explanation, probably. Would that be adequate, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is that okay with you, Mr. Lamas? True with an explanation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court accepts the plea of true with an explanation on cause 642-197. Ms. Sedovich, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Hernandez's probation in clause 642-197? I remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hernandez's reporting has been good. His last report date was February 18th, 2022. He is enrolled in the BIP program. He has completed his DWI, his victim impact panel. He has paid $360, has a balance of $1,230. He is attending the CATSNP program. This is his first MTR. He is on 4 blows per day. He had 1 skip, 1 high BRAC on March 3rd of 0.035 at 11:38 p.m. with no retest. He has 1 negative UA. Probation is recommending to increase Smart Start blows to 6 per day and add CATS IOP.
And defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, after consulting with my client would be asking this court to revoke him off of probation on both cases. He has been doing very well on, he has been doing pretty well on probation, but he has some concerns being on probation. He doesn't think he's a good candidate anymore. He does recognize that he has an alcohol problem, and he's afraid that if he does mess up again, he'll get rearrested and he'll just be in a cycle of coming back and forth to court. During this last arrest, he actually lost his job, a pretty good construction job, and he's afraid of that happening again. So he would prefer to do some jail time to satisfy the sentence for both of these cases so that he could move on in the most productive way.
Mr. Hernandez, I do not recommend that. I certainly understand why you're asking for that. Let me tell you what my position would be. If you want me to revoke you on both cases, I will. I will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail on the assault causing bodily injury family member case, which is 642-197, and I will sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail on 645-710, and run them concurrent, so they run at the same time. But it would still be a year in jail. I don't know what the quote the sheriff is using on jail time for defendants these days. At one time it was 3 for 1. At one time it was 2 for 1. I don't know what it is. You might know more than I do about that because you're over there. You know what it is at this time, sir?
Yes, I believe right now I'm in the trustee pot is 3 for 1.
All right, 3 for 1. All right. Your problems on probation are not so great as to motivate me to want to revoke you on my own accord. If you ask for it, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm not going to do it on my own. So if you were to elect to stay on probation, I'm going to, whatever time you've been in jail, that's going to be your sanction. You're not going to have to spend any more time in jail. You go right back on probation. I would crank up your Smart Start mobile device from 4 blows a day to 6 blows a day, with the understanding if you successfully completed 30 days of that without missing any blows, no high brax or alcohol, I crank it back down to 4 again. I put you on weekly UAs. If you successfully show us 4 weeks of weekly UAs with no positives for alcohol or other illegal drugs, I put you back on monthly UA. And then ask for substantial compliance in all areas, but you're kind of doing that. And Marissa, let me bring this to mind because we haven't been doing family violence cases this term very long, but all defendants who are on family violence cases and have a BIPP requirement, our standard operating procedure, and I'll tell Susan when she comes back, is going to be they have to be registered for that course within 10 days of going on probation.
Within 10 days.
And every court in Bexar County should be doing that and probably be happy. That might be something that y'all would want to send out and say y'all thought of it and that should be done to protect the public, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Marissa. Anyway, that's those are the 2 options that I have in mind. State, why don't you go ahead and give us your recommendation at this time, and then I'm going to let Mr. Lamas and Mr. Hernandez go in the back and chat about these options and let me know what they want to do.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is to increase the blows to 6 per day with substantial compliance within 10. But if the defense counsel is requesting revocation, then we would ask the court to honor that request.
Mr. Lamas, do you want to go in a breakout room with Mr. Hernandez and chat about the 2 options I've outlined for you?
I'm happy to talk to him again about it, Your Honor. And
Okay.
just so the court is aware, he is also currently enrolled in the BIPP course, and he was doing well on that as well. He had 5 of the 20 classes completed with 0 absences.
Well, I think I certainly speak for the probation department and the state and the court, and that we all would like him to complete that course because we think he might benefit from it so there are no future problems. But that's certainly your call. So if y'all go back and chat and come back and tell me what you want to do. Our position is Mr. Hernandez has had a speed bump in the road with regard to drinking, but otherwise he's doing okay, and we would continue him on probation unless he requests not to be there. That's kind of where we're at. Would that be correct, Mr. Villarreal?
That's right, Judge. Yes,
And
sir.
the benefits, would you agree? Okay.
Yes, I.
All right, please,
Room 2,
Mr. Hernandez, room, please.
room 2. Y'all can hit it and go into room 2.